What a fantastic welcome at the Bomu Clinic. Bomu is a clinic in the middle of the Mombasa slums that's doing an incredible job treating as many people as possible. We're actually helping to build a pediatric extension there.
I'm the community health worker. I work with those kids you see there, the one who takes care of them with their parents. So they come from the slums, but they are very, very poor, really poor. Yes. They can't afford food, they don't have clothing. Yes. Like now it's raining. You should see the place is pathetic. It's really sad. Yes. I'm really, really glad you're here.
Thank you.
And God bless you.
God bless
I hope
you.
you'll be able to assist them. You'll be able to help them.
We will work our hardest
I really
to do
hope
that.
so.
Thank you.
We love you. We love you, Alicia kids, we love you. We need you. We need you, Alicia kids, we need you. Alicia kids, we love you.
You know, I definitely consider myself a daughter of Africa, and that is why I'm here. When, you know, people ask me for this whole trip, are you going on tours? Are you going to see different tourism and that kind of thing? And I know how beautiful Kenya and Mombasa is, but my main objective is to really bring the word of what's going on to the global public. And I really am very standing strongly behind that. So to come here personally and be able to witness what's going on here in Bomu, and to be able to physically see the place where Keep a Child Alive will help to build one of the many floors that will need to be built here, but hopefully will allow for more space, more room, and absolutely just more efficiency in working here at Bomu is my pleasure and my honor to be involved in that, and to physically see it and meet the people who are working so hard and so diligently day by day to make it possible for those beautiful children who came up here and sang, and everyone who really is benefiting from that. It's truly moving to be a part of that. So I just wanted to commend you for all of your hard work and your compassion and your tireless efforts with this issue at hand. It's so huge, it's so big, and sometimes it does seem like, my goodness, but I do have faith. And one thing that I do see everywhere I go is the belief in God is so strong, and it reminds me how important that is and how we will make it through. And I'm happy to work with you to make it better and better and better. And I know we can work together and change the world. So thank you for that. Thank you for today. Thank you so much for welcoming me. Hi. Because of the AIDS pandemic, there are 13 million African children orphaned. The burden has fallen to their grandmothers who, in African custom, should be cared for by their children in their later years, but instead are now raising their grandchildren in the most difficult of circumstances. For example, this grandmother lost all 4 of her children and now has been left to support all 8 of her grandchildren.
So eventually she had to take over the full responsibility.
All of them died from AIDS?
Yeah.
How does she manage? How does she manage to care for all 8 of the children?
Normally she does small jobs, so she gets small money. If that does not come around, then she has to go borrow from any neighbor.
For many years, people used the excuse that there was no point in giving AIDS medicine to Africans because they would not take them efficiently or they wouldn't seek treatment. Even a high-level U.S. government official suggested that Africans can't tell the time and therefore wouldn't be able to take ARVs efficiently, causing resistance. Even though these grandchildren had only the clothes they were wearing when we met them, and a grandmother often has to dig graves to survive, she keeps that box of ARVs for the children in her one-room house, and she makes sure that they take them. In fact, in studies, it's been shown that Africans adhere better to their medicines than Americans, even in the poorest conditions. Samuel lives in the slums of Mombasa, and he is very poor. Samuel's day-to-day trials would overwhelm most of us, but he retains an immense dignity, as I've seen so often on this amazing continent. He brings me to his home to meet his family.
Usna, my granddaughter.
Samuel's house is a tiny room, about 10 by 6, with 5 people living in it. It's so dark we could barely do this interview. It's very hot, with no running water, no fans, no air conditioning, no toilet, and no stove. He lives there with his wife, who has TB, an illness which kills more people with AIDS than any other. His 3 granddaughters live there too. One of them, the teenage Uba, hardly ever smiled. She so misses her mother, who died of AIDS when she was 14, and Husna was 1.5. Samuel has taken care of his granddaughters ever since.
And I do not regret, and I never even think of regretting having Usna and her sister. I am always ready to defend them. But the question comes, how am I going to manage?
Husna, infected by her mother during pregnancy, has a great chance of survival because of how early she began treatment. Shamefully, though, 60% of children die before the age of 2 without access to these medicines. Getting ARVs to children must be our priority.
How old is Sudi now? 16. How long has Sudi been on treatment? 4 years.
Sudi was 13 when he began treatment, and by then, his physical as well as internal growth had been stunted. Even though Sudi is 16, he looks 9. Undoubtedly, if Sudi had been able to access AIDS treatment early enough, his body would have developed. Sudi had become deaf because of a severe ear infection. He had learned to lip read, but it was the look on his sisters' faces that told him things were not good. What a painful life that little boy had.
Sudi, tell me what it's like for you when you go to school.
Wasikiaje wakati waenda shule?
Sudi?
The teacher said he cannot teach a student who is very sick, so he needs to stay at home until he comes better.
They won't let him go to school.
Hawawezi kukubalia walimu waende shule. No, they won't let him go to school.
Why did
He lost his mother,
Na kwa nini? Walisema kwa nini?
became very ill himself, was shunned in his community and at school. And eventually, 1 week after our visit, Sudi died.